Same. I'm with you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the piece of shit.
All right, buddy.
In the drawer sometimes. I'm just having the time of my life.
Instagram pictures are together.
Oh my gosh.
Does it have a Thundercat?
Technology.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh no. We never doubted on one.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Hey everybody, welcome to Launchpad Reseller Podcast Season 2. I am Bob, the Rocket City Reseller. We are your mission control for all things reselling and technical issues.
The name of the
StreamYard,
game.
StreamYard, why do you despise me so? And then we lost Angela. I was going to say Angela will likely get back to us with the Mom Rebooted. So I just wanted to welcome everybody here that's here to see Angela, and hopefully she is trying to log back in. Before we get to that, we just want to say thank you, everybody, for the likes and subscribes to the channel. It really has meant a world of difference to us. And look who's back.
Hey, there she is.
Without further ado, it's okay. All you did was miss the intro, which is we're just telling people to like and subscribe because after they do that for our channel, I want them to stop what they're doing and go to Mom Rebooted and go ahead and like to subscribe there because the content that you're putting out for the community is absolute treasure.
Oh, yes, and I want everyone to subscribe here too.
Woo!
Absolutely.
We appreciate you, Angela, with Mom Rebooted coming in, and everybody in chat's here to say hello to you. We got so many people.
Well, I can't see you guys, but hello.
I will rattle off some names. Hello, Karen, Colleen, April. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you guys.
Also cleanouts.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody coming in and joining us for this special edition of the podcast. And, if you're new to reselling or if you've been reselling for years, this is your mission control for all things reselling. 20 minutes, 20 years, we don't care. Everybody's welcome to the table. We're going to get it done, and we're going to talk to Angela about all things reselling. But first, let's talk about, I'm going to switch it up on you, Angela. Usually I ask people to tell me their story, right?
Oh, yeah.
But for today, we're going to do something different. Let's talk
good.
about Mom Rebooted, the brand that is the Mom Rebooted. Let's talk about it. Go ahead and tell us all about it.
Yeah, Mom Rebooted. So, I guess it does coincide with my story, but I won't share too much of my story yet. I will tell you that the name Mom Rebooted came from the idea that I've always been a stay-at-home mom and a homeschool mom. That actually literally has been my identity since I've been basically an adult. So I have my first son at 21. And I made a decision that being a mom was my life. I was so thankful. My husband was a great provider. And so I've always been mom. And I've done reselling as a side gig for a really, really long time. But the name Mom Rebooted came out of the idea that I really am about to be in a season of reboot. Like anyone watching knows what that's like, right? Put it down in the comments if you know what that's like. I know you guys know what that's like. All of life is about rebooting over and over again. And so I have one son who just got married, one graduating, and my youngest is getting ready to drive. So I'm literally having an identity crisis. I am about to have a total reboot. We were talking briefly about being empty nesters and having that time of just going through a reboot in your life is a great time for new beginnings, trying new things, going down different avenues. So the name Mom Rebooted really just did come out of just that being basically my main focus in my life and finding out who I am after mom, finding Angela again. So that's where that name came from.
Yeah, that's super impactful. Ellie, what do you think?
I actually didn't know that you homeschooled. I just started homeschooling. Is this my third year starting? I think I'm starting my third year.
Oh, That's
So I
great.
feel like I'm just finally starting to get the hang of things.
Oh yeah, I get it. And everybody has to choose what works best for them. For you, that
Yeah.
might work for you. I always tell people I'm not a homeschooler that says everyone should homeschool. I
Yeah.
like to put that out there. You know what I say?
No,
My
yeah.
kids are as weird as everyone else's kids. They're all weird,
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. 100%.
But that's great. That's so great.
Yeah. So that's great. And I can totally align with mom identity.
Yeah.
And as far as rebooted, we have a word of the year that we have come across again and again. Bob, do you know? Can you guess?
Perfection's not perfect. I don't know.
Oh, actually, that's
No,
right. That's a pretty
pivot.
good little phrase.
That's my catchphrase. I like progress over perfection, but
Yeah.
pivot. We have come back to pivot over and over
Oh.
in this podcast.
Yeah.
And so that rebooted, that changed, just pivot.
Yes.
So,
So
yeah,
much.
that's great.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, this week has been nothing but that for me.
Mhm.
If I turn left, it's 3 lefts to make a right.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Snowball. I get it.
Sometimes you just
Okay.
got to do that. And Angela,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing what the meaning of the name was. I appreciate it. It gives context. Sometimes I forget to do that in these podcasts. So I
Yeah.
wanted to start there. That way we're clear about what the messaging is and what your audience is. And I think that will give context to the greater story, which I'm going to ask you to share with us right now. How did you come to
Great.
reselling? I know that you said you're a mom.
Yep.
And it kind of naturally looks like it might have progressed through that.
Yeah, I'm like halfway. Did you say that you want me to share my story about reselling? Maybe how I started? Okay.
Please and thank you.
Absolutely. So for anyone who's followed me, you might already know, but for any new viewers, Mom Rebooted just started out as Angela. I've been a stay-at-home mom and a homeschool mom my entire adult life. And when we were newlyweds, and even before then, my husband and I didn't have a lot of money. I've told people, like, we were poor, we were broke. We were living on less than paycheck to paycheck. And my husband, of course, was working, and he was providing for me to be able to do what I felt called to do, which was stay home with my kids. And but we didn't have much money. And honestly, weren't very good with money either. So sometimes it was to our own detriment. But I started out, I remember my brother going to thrift stores. This was before reselling blew up, going to thrift stores. And at the time, I remember going with him going, and it was just eBay only. And we would find Hollister shirts and jeans and American Eagle shirts and jeans. And that was like basically it for me. Sometimes, like, I don't know what the other clothing, I'm not a clothing reseller now, but it was when those were popular and we were just trying to give someone a cheaper option. They weren't even vintage yet. And we started going to thrift stores and doing that. And I kind of did it as a hobby here and there to make ends meet. I did that for a little while. And that was like almost 20 years ago that I did that. And which is crazy. I mean, where's the time go?
Time is a thief.
Time is a thief. But so I did that a real long time ago, and then I started thrifting beautiful old junk, and I thought it was beautiful, but a lot of other people didn't. So I bought old junk and I made it beautiful again. I did a lot of repurposing and revamping, and I sold in a couple of local stores in Omaha, Nebraska that had little boutiques and things. Sometimes I sold at vendor fairs. I sold those online as well. And I did that off and on for a while too. It wasn't until a couple years back that I really got serious about it. Well, I guess by now it would have been like 5-6 years ago. Again, with the time. 5 or 6 years ago, I got really serious about it. And I still wasn't full-time because I am, my main focus, again, is being a homemaker and a mom. So I still always did it on the side. And so I've always been a part-timer, and I encourage people to be content if that works for them to be part-timers. I know it's really exciting to see full-time resellers out there, but the truth is that everybody can do it in the way that works for them, which is the beauty of home business and reselling in general. So I've been doing it consistently. I thrift. I've cleaned out storage units. I've bought out entire garage sales. I've gone to garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, and I just find old stuff and find new homes for it. That's what I've done for a long time now. And now my goal, of course, is to teach others to do that as well, so they can enjoy what you guys and myself all enjoy doing.
I love that.
Roll these windows up.
So impactful. The income, the potential for extra income right now is
Oh,
huge for a lot of
it's
families.
huge.
So the fact that you have those types of things in place that you can actually teach people how to do that. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that you're doing a series right now on YouTube. You want to talk about that because I think that's really great that you're doing that series.
Yeah, thank you for asking me about that.
Yeah.
I would love to talk about that. You know, when I started creating content about reselling, I have to be perfectly honest with both of you and with everybody watching out there. I really did it for my own benefit because I'm a creative at heart, and I felt like it was a creative outlet to be able to just find community out there, and talk about the things we all love talking about, which is thrifting and reselling. But I realized so quickly, and you guys know, I mean, the entire nation is trying to find a way to make extra money right now. It's times are tough. And I very, very firmly believe that almost anyone can do this. And so I started the series Reselling for Dummies. Now, I just started putting it on YouTube, which my YouTube channel is not super active. I mean, it's YouTube, it's funky, but my Facebook has taken off a little bit. And so I do have a series on there. So if you guys don't mind me sharing to tell people how to
Yeah,
find that.
absolutely. Yep.
If you're on Facebook, you just click on my little profile picture. It's the picture of me looking snazzy. And then click on the little spot that says Reels, and you're going to see a playlist in there called Reselling for Dummies. Now, I tell people that it's not created for dummies. It's just the way that I break it down for someone who wants to start from scratch. Or maybe you've been reselling as a hobby for a long time and you just want a little bit of a reset to really get down in the weeds about it. It's really intended to be for all of the people who have reached out personally to me. You wouldn't believe how many private messages I get about people saying, I think I could do this. And I really believe everyone can. And that's a series, Reselling for Dummies, that breaks it down to, I mean, the bare bones of so there's a lot of episodes, but it breaks it down into the simplest terms for anybody to be able to follow and to start and to do. It starts with episode 1. I suggest people start with episode 1 and then go from there. And I try to keep up with the comments as much as I can. I really try to. I know I don't always catch them all, but yeah, thank you for letting me share about that, because I really am sharing that because I know for me, when I was going through a time in my life years ago and things were really hard, having that side hustle, you guys know, it's everything sometimes. And I want that for everyone else too. It's what I gain out of creating and sharing a series like that is having people say, I sold that and I made money doing that. And because I made money doing that, I had the freedom to do this. And that's really why I created that series.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Comment homework if you did your homework for Angela.
Oh yes, the homework.
Because I thought that was the call to action is important for any type of
So
social
important.
media. Yeah, so important. So if you're a part of that tribe on Mom Rebooted, make sure you comment homework in the comments. We'd love to shout you out on the channel.
Oh yeah.
And also, let's talk a little bit about some of the printables that you have on Etsy, some of the like new seller guides and things of that nature, because I think that's super important too.
Sure.
Yeah, let's talk about some of that because I think that might actually help someone move the needle this year.
I really think so too. So now I do ask pretty frequently on my social media platform, which is Facebook. I'm in old Ladyville, okay? I'm not on TikTok. Maybe
You
one
would crush
day.
TikTok, by the way. You would crush it.
I might branch out one day, okay? I can only do so much. But anyway, so on Facebook, people always hear me say that to say, let me know if you want a link to my business planner. So what I created some very simple downloads, and they're on Etsy. Etsy is a platform where I have some of my items actually for sale, my reseller items for sale, but not very many. But these are digital products. So what I have there is a very simple, extremely simple business planner. And yeah, your audience, if you can hear me out there, drop it down in the chat if you do want those. We're going to make sure that we get you hooked up with those. And make sure you're sharing this episode, of course, out with anybody who you think needs to see this. But I did create a business planner. I also created an inventory tracker, and I created some printable thank you cards. Another thing I was going to come up with, Reese, I kind of was kicking around a little bit. And again, you guys can comment and let us know what you think of this, was maybe a printable sheet for your goal setting. Because I know for me, literally every day, I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this, is just set every day writing down on a little whiteboard, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. Even if I'm doing the same thing every day, I'm writing it down. And I'm thinking about doing that too. But to tell you guys a little bit about it, the business planner is extremely simple. It's actually created for new resellers. In fact, I'm going to be brutally honest. One of the first pieces of feedback, personal feedback I got about that was from an experienced reseller. And she said, this is very elementary. I mean, she didn't really love it. And so now I like to tell people this is actually created for beginner resellers. So if you're overwhelmed and you're looking for something very simple, it's just 5 pages, very, very simple, very clean cut. And it just helps you get your mind around the business a little bit. Daily tasks, things like that. I don't like to give too much away, but yeah, so yeah, you can comment that if you're looking for something like that. There's also an inventory tracker, which again is more geared towards maybe closer to a beginner reseller, but it helps keep track of all your inventory and then some. And I've also got some printable thank you notes that you can just print off once. And all of these, you only download them once, and you can print them over and over again forever, like literally forever, as long as you want to. So that was something else that I also intended for all of my beginners that I'm reaching out there. And even anyone who's just looking for something new to do with their reselling business, this might be something that would help. So I've sold out twice with my my business planners. So I've sold about 200 of those. They are extremely affordable. I've been telling people I do like to provide all my content for free. These do cost just a little bit, but it's extremely minute. It's less than a pack of gum, and I'm actually not exaggerating that. But again, you only download it once, and then it's yours forever. So I appreciate everyone who has purchased those and is enjoying those, and I've gotten a lot of really good feedback about those. So I hope they're helping a lot of people out there just to get their mind wrapped around things.
I love that.
Yeah, I think it's important to have a focal when you first start, because
Oh, yeah.
you get a lot of noise from the community, especially
yeah.
through YouTube. And
yeah.
there are different ways of learning. Like some people are visual learnings, and YouTube works great for
Yes.
them. And some people need to
Yes.
see it on paper. Some people need to read.
Yeah.
So there's different learning styles. So if you're struggling with YouTube and learning in that way, just know that
Oh, yeah.
Angela has tools available that you can use as a focal to focus your energy and be able to kind of dip your toes, if you will, into
Yeah.
the reselling pool, because it's a quick way of gaining like the insight whether or not this is for you. So not everything is for
Yes.
everybody, but I will say that anybody could do this. I'm going to just throw it out there.
Oh,
If
yeah.
if you want it more than you don't with anything in life,
Yeah.
you can potentially do it. Now, obviously, I'm never going to be a supermodel in France, right? But that's what I did at 46. I went back to school and became a software engineer at 46.
I love that.
So you can do what you want to do within reason. So if you want to be a reseller, you just got to have the mindset of wanting it more than you don't. And if you're willing to outwork consistently, you can have success. I guarantee you.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah. And you can change your mind anytime. That's the beauty of your whole life. You can change, like you went back to school. You can change your mind anytime.
Anytime. I'm going to find a charger before I lose you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Bob. I love the way that you explain things. It really, when I was watching your series a little bit that you started.
Oh, yeah.
It gives very much of the explain it to me like I'm 5 years old vibe, and there are people that really need that. It's like, right.
Yes.
Give me step by step. Don't skip over anything. I need a process. And so I think you really fulfill a need in that area. So that's really great. That's awesome.
I hope so. I hope so. And that's the way I need things explained. Like my sister, which if you guys don't mind, I got to plug her. My sister is the Canary Closet. She's a full-time reseller, and
Oh,
she's a very
okay.
type A brain. I think you call that. And I'm type B. So she always says like, she does have to explain things to me like I'm 5. I'm like,
I
can you
love
break
it.
this all the way down? I'm talking about like you're getting ready to learn a new board game. Forget about it. You're going to
No,
be talking to me like a 5-year-old for half an hour.
listen, sometimes in the family it's that way, and
Yes.
funny that you say that because I have my mom and my aunt, and they're the type A and the type B, and one explains to the other, and it's so when
Oh,
I
yeah.
see that, I see it in action. So like,
Oh, yes.
give me, explain it to me like I'm 5, and
Yeah.
then I think we invited her on, and I think that she has small children. Is that right?
She has older children, but she's extremely busy, and she's
Yeah.
getting into a very busy season right now with she's also a volleyball coach, and like I said, she's a full-timer. Like I do content part-time, and I do my reselling part-time. She's a full-timer. She's hardcore. So and
Okay.
additionally she coaches, and she does all kinds of things.
Super mom. She's
She's
super
very
mom over
busy.
there.
Yeah.
I get it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did invite her. I did not know that was your sister. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's my sister.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So there's a comment in April says that she loves following you. April says she loves following
Hi,
Angela
April.
because she is so down to earth and also a hustler. Aha.
Hey.
Let's go.
Let's go, because those things it's important to be humble in all things, right? But it's also important
Absolutely.
to shoot your shot
Yeah.
and put yourself out there, because no one else is going to. Sorry to say, Uncle
Yep.
Bob from Rocket City Reseller always tells you the truth. Don't worry.
Yep. That's the way
You
it
gotta-
is. That's life.
You got to do it. You just got to
Yep.
do it. And it feels awkward at first. We were talking about this on the flip side yesterday. It really does feel awkward at first when you're first reselling to put
Oh, yeah.
yourself out there when you're networking and you're
Yeah.
telling people what you do for work.
Yeah.
But I will guarantee you'll get more positive feedback and more connections, and
Yep.
people will be like, "You do what?" And then the next
Yeah.
thing is, "How can you help me?"
Yeah.
They'll be like, "I got all this stuff I want to resell.
Yeah.
Are you interested in buying it?
Yeah.
Do you want to do all the things?" Because that's usually the natural progression of those conversations. Now, are there haters with anything?
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah.
You got to be okay with all the no's too.
Yep.
So
It's part of it.
she said, "Haha, hustler, not Husker," like Nebraska. Sorry.
She knows.
Are you both? I guess you're from
No,
Nebraska,
well,
right?
I live in Nebraska, but I'm
Oh,
not.
okay.
I don't really. I'm not into any sports, so I just identify as a Husker because my family's full of
Oh, I
Husker
see.
fans.
See, I thought she had a typo and it was Hustler.
I totally do.
I also thought the same thing.
That's
He's a
That's so
Husker. That's a
funny.
hustler.
Got it. It's funny.
Fantastic. I love it. So 20 years ago, right? Is that how long it's been?
Well, yeah. So my oldest is 21, and I remember going with my brother and even my sister to this little thrift store in Nebraska when my son was a baby. I remember that. And so it had to have been about 20 years ago, which is insane.
Crazy.
I can only imagine like how much it's changed over the course of 20 years. What was that
gosh.
like?
It's crazy. Here's how much it changed. You guys want to hear just a funny story. We were going into a thrift store. We were going to thrift stores. We're looking through clothes, and things like that. And again, at the time, now, I don't follow clothing reselling a lot, but now a lot of things have come back as vintage, like Y2K stuff. But at the time, it really was like closer to Y2K time. Would have been what, 06?
Yeah.
And reselling was so kind of unheard of at the time that there was an employee at a thrift store, and once he found out that we were looking for all this same brand, it was I guess my brother now, my brother's a reseller too, but he doesn't do content, but he's an amazing reseller too. He does men's clothing only. And anyway, at the time, we told the employee, the guy that owned this thrift store, that we were, he noticed we were looking for these specific brands of jeans and shirts. And he was like, score. As soon as he would get his big bundle of wherever donations, and he started just setting these brands aside for us. So we would come in and this guy would bank, because we would just go, perfect, pay for, he already had all the brands ready that we're ready to go with. And we would take them with us and take them home and do it then. It was a different world. It was completely a different world that nobody was talking about it like this to this extent. It wasn't blowing up. I mean, he was just as like shocked as, I mean, he was like, you want to what? When we said we just want to buy all these brands. So I very specifically remember him being really happy to give us this huge bundle of clothes. And and I mean, at the time, and there was no AI, you had to go home and make that first picture on your listing look good by itself, and I had kids crap all over the place and everything, and I had to like make it look like these things look good. I wish I could go back and find all my old pictures and things. I'd probably be like, oh my God, these things sell. But yeah, it was a different world. It was a different time, 20 years ago. So crazy.
So it's interesting. 20 years ago, nobody knew about reselling. Sort of. I guess there's always been pickers since there's been people. But,
yeah, like sort of.
Sort of. Right. And then now private equity taking over.
Right.
So
it's crazy.
You have companies like Eris Management that own Sabres thrift store.
Yeah.
They're a private equity company, and we're trending to be billions of dollars worth of like resell for this year alone, and then the next couple of years it's going to even grow triple.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of interesting
how that's all kind of played out over the years.
Yeah.
We went from not being able to get your kid into a thrift store where that now all these teenagers want to go to thrift stores.
Oh yeah.
The old vintage stuff, the Y2K stuff. So interesting.
It's crazy. It's very interesting, but you have to be for anyone that does get into reselling, you guys know you've got to be flexible. Things are always going to change. What's going on now won't be the same a year from now, 2 years from now. It's constantly being flexible and changing. Actually, that's really true of life in general. But reselling, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, hey, pre-COVID or whatever. I mean, it's like everything. It's just there's constant change, and that's life. You just keep rolling with it,
We need that meme of the Friends episode where Ross is doing the furniture pivot. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. The Friends episode.
That's
the furniture. Ellie, we need the Ellie's so young. I forget.
Oh, Ellie, it's a giant piece of furniture, Ellie. They're trying to get it through this tiny space, and he's like, pivot, because they're trying to find a way to get through this space. And that is actually a great what do you call it? Not a metaphor for life. Constantly pivoting, especially if you're into anything entrepreneurial wise, and learning the pivot, and just to be able to be flexible and go, here's what's going on now. I mean, that really is the key to success, I think, in long-term reselling, especially, is being able to pivot. What worked then doesn't work now, and I have to adjust to that. It doesn't matter what it used to be. And you've got to pivot. There was a guy that took us on a fishing tour. You guys might like this story, or you might not, but there was a guy that took us on a fishing tour, and he told us, now, if people keep fishing the same spot year after year, maybe they caught fish one year and this year they're not catching any. They're just fishing memories. And that can be so applied to entrepreneurship, and especially reselling.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if those puzzles were all selling well during COVID. Nobody cares anymore. And you have to be willing to say that worked then. It doesn't work now, and that's fine, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that on the flip side. We have come to the crossroads where Squishmallow are going out of our house. Squishmallow. COVID's over.
That's crazy.
Living on our emo feelings.
Yeah, they're like the next Beanie Bee,
Yeah. So we have I want to say we have 8 or 9 large contractor bags full to donate.
Oh, okay. I was going to say last.
Crazy.
How many did you guys keep? Any?
We could, the laundry baskets that are in our photos. So we have 4 with tags, 4 laundry baskets with tags. So they all have tags, right?
Yeah. So. I get it.
Nice.
Yeah. There used to be days I would open up a storage unit. If I saw Squishmallows, I was like, oh, big money. Not
no whammy.
No whammy.
Man, the way used to just go for double, triple, 4X, 5X.
Oh, yeah.
I remember going to the Goodwill outlet bins just a few years ago, about 4 years ago, is when we started reselling, and people were having fist fights over Squishmallows at the bins. And now it's like they're like a snake in the bin. People are
you can have it. Toss it.
Okay, guys, so I need to move my cars.
Well, I mean,
It is.
yeah, a little bit.
Don't worry.
I didn't even.
Let's go. I'm
All
literally
right.
going
First of all,
here.
safety first. This is the.
Don't worry, I'm in an empty Costco parking lot. I mean, if we wanted to, we could go in and get a cold pop, you know?
Oh, snap.
Okay. Now I'm going to have my golden hour.
Oh, snap. Oh,
Perfect.
snap.
Okay, this will work, right?
It was perfect because StreamYard buffered while you were doing it. So it almost was like it knew Mom Rebooted had a reboot. So
It all worked
it
out.
too rebooted.
See, we're pivoting.
Pivot.
We are literally pivoting.
That word just comes up over and over and over
I'm
again.
telling you, because it's so impactful, you gotta
really
be flexible.
Yes.
And let's talk
truly.
about flexibility and what reselling has done for you with your family. The flexibility of that.
Oh my gosh. Huge. Anytime you have any kind of side gig, flexibility is the financial side is excellent, but when you pair flexibility with that, it's huge, especially for my life as a stay-at-home mom. And some of our viewers here, you can let us know in the comments what season of life you're in. Maybe you're not in the season of life where you've got little kids. Maybe you're caring for your mom, or you're someone who is working full-time and is looking for a little side gig. Everybody's got something else to care for, in their life, and you need to kind of be flexible around. Very few people I've found, this is what I've found since I started creating content about a year ago, very few people are actually full-time resellers. There are a lot of part-timers and hobbyists out there just trying to make it work with their schedule. So you're not alone in that if you're going through that. With my family, having the flexibility, was huge, because when you're a stay-at-home mom and you homeschool your kids, nothing really ever goes as planned. It's basically just like...
Is that true, Ellie?
She knows exactly what I'm talking about. You think you have, oh, what we're going to do today? No, you're not. And so having flexibility is huge. And I can talk about the financial side too, as we were kind of, I don't know, my kids were growing up, because that was really huge too. Such a blessing. But the flexibility is so huge no matter what season of life you're in, because when it comes to reselling on just about any platform, I mean, you can be flexible about how much you want to list, how little you want to list. If you are in a season of life where you feel like you can do more, you can do more. If you're on eBay, you don't even need to do next day shipping. If you feel like I need to do 2-day shipping, I need to do this, you can be so flexible in the way you work your business. When you go sourcing, that's on you. When you decide to take pictures, that's on you. When you decide to list, I mean, basically, it's all extremely flexible until it gets to the point where you need to ship. Of course, then you've got to be timely. But flexibility is actually a huge part of reselling. And I think why it works for so many people, because like I said, basically everything up until the time it sells, you can be extremely flexible with your own schedule. And I think that's huge for a lot of people.
Here goes one commenter. Happily retired now, just piddling around selling things we have accumulated. And that's what it has to be. And it can be more, or it can be just whatever you have to. But I think that's absolutely true. I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Every day is up in the air, no matter what the plan is.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah. So in our own lives, flexibility is important. I think every time you think you're in control, you're going to be shown, no, you're not. No, you're not in control. So, and that's life. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so I think reselling is a great reminder of that it's okay. And then the other thing is, and I have to put this out there since we're talking about this just came to my head, is just about giving ourselves grace with our flexibility. If you have a season where it's like, well, crap, I had this goal to do all these things and I'm hardly listing anything, that's okay. You can be flexible because you're the boss, right? Until that item sells, then the customer's the boss until they get it and you get paid. But otherwise, you're the boss. You can work as little or as much as you want. If you need to work the business a little bit less right now, you can. A family emergency comes up, no big deal. You find ways to just make it work. And that's the beauty of running your own business, your own reselling business.
I think you're the second or possibly third reselling mom on here that has said grace. Give yourself grace. And I can't appreciate that enough, because I feel like I'm so hard on myself, especially we talked about yesterday, Bob, imposter syndrome.
Syndrome.
Thank
yes. Oh, now that's a
Yes.
topic to cover. Yes.
Yeah. So
Syndrome. Yeah.
grace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think what it is as humans, we want to be as good as we can when we do something.
Yeah.
It's in our
Yeah.
nature, right? If you're going to do something, you want to do it to the best of your ability. I think most people
Yep.
feel that way. Not
Oh, yeah.
everybody has that, but most of us want to do that. So
Yeah.
you remind yourself, you get to a certain point in life where you have to say, I am enough and I've done
Yep.
enough. So it depends on the season of life. Like Karen was saying, she's retired now.
Yeah.
You know, she is enough. She's done enough, but she chooses to do
Yeah.
more, right?
Yes.
So that's where the trade is. So you got to remind yourself,
Exactly.
that's where grace comes in. I think it's important. Mental health and reselling, mental health in this country is at its all-time worst, right?
Yep.
So I think it's important for us to remind each other that this is why we started this channel, is because we want to be a community of practice and also join together in our understanding and share freely the knowledge. Like you were saying earlier, all your knowledge is free. Implementation, there might be just a small cost to that, and that's okay. But for the most part, the content we provide is free. All we do is ask for like and subscribe. That way we can make the YouTube overlords pay us.
Yeah. Yep.
But other than that, we're trying to move the business needle for you guys. We started 2026 with our movement of change, and that change energizes us, and that, you know, moving your business in a way that's actionable. If it's not a business, then it's a side hustle. Maybe it is a business now, you know, that type of thing. So we're kind of pivoting and moving through and iterating as we grow and understand our place in reselling. So
absolutely.
We try to speak to all the audiences. That's why we have such a broad scope of resellers on the channel. We have people that are maybe just starting, and then we have folks that are been selling for 20 years and are $1 million resellers. So we try to like give a broad range of, and it's always the same thing that I've noticed
across the scope, Bob. And it's been so humbling to hear the stories of different backgrounds, different resellers, how everybody does things differently, and we still meet the same goal at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They're always talking about the same thing too, like consistency. Which a lot of times, just think about it like this: if you're going to the gym, you see someone with these huge arms and this biceps or whatever, and you're like, wow, I want arms like that. Well, guess what? It didn't show up and it didn't appear right. You got to do some reps to get that. So, and just like reselling, you got to kind of show up for yourself if you want those big reseller biceps.
Nobody can make you do it. It's on you.
Put in the work. So, So we had a comment, and Ellie's going to go ahead and read that because my eyesight's horrible.
Single mom here, put 3 girls through private college reselling. That's amazing. Even started a clean out estate sale company. It's hard work reselling, but if you put your time in, it can work. Absolutely.
I love that.
Coastal clean outs. That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, university, depending on what you're doing, is expensive. So if you need extra money for that, private school, we started reselling. We started fostering children.
Wow.
So we started reselling to offset the costs, because obviously you don't get enough from the state to do anything with children. So that's how we started reselling. So
I love that.
And then it just kind of became something else over time. But so there's room.
That's amazing.
Just know that there's space regardless of what you're doing, I think.
Yep. And there's room for everyone. I know people say, well, there's so many people reselling. It doesn't matter. And again, you see it. You've been reselling. I mean, I've been doing it for so long. It does not matter. You can still make a great income reselling. There is enough for everybody. There is more than enough for everybody.
I'll give you an example of that. Rebel the reseller sells plush. She's very successful. She's been doing it for 20 something years. Yeah. And awesome people, great friends. We've met each other in person. I text her husband just about every other day. So we're super good friends. And there's no gatekeeping, no stopping. Like the conversation, we talk about business. We share freely. And we have come to a place of understanding. Like we've grown our business to that level as well. So,
Yeah.
and just think we sell the same things.
Exactly.
So that just shows you that there's room.
Oh, heck
Yeah.
yeah. There is room. There is room. Even, I mean, it doesn't matter where you're at or what you're doing. There is room for everyone. I think sometimes expanding your horizons on what you can sell really helps with that. But there's 100% room for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. I think learning, and YouTube's a great tool for that. So using YouTube and channels like ours and yours and Ellie's to be able to find content that speaks to you, find someone that you can trust and you want to watch and that you can rely on, that shows up consistently for you, and just lock in.
Yeah.
There's so much information out there that you could just freely give.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah. So Angela, there's a few things in like your reselling story that are impactful. If you can speak to your audience, I'm going to make you really big real quick. I want you to speak to your community on Facebook specifically. I know that you have a large one there, so I'm going to try to make you big, and I want you to go ahead and speak to your community and tell them how much they mean to you.
Oh, my community means so much to me. I have a great relationship. My community on Facebook specifically, you guys say something in the chat if you're here. Or maybe if you're catching this in the replay, say something anyway. I want to hear from you. But, when I started creating content as a reseller, someone who enjoys reselling and enjoys thrifting. Now, if you're just a thrifter and you're seeing this here on this channel, which again, I'm so appreciative to have been invited to speak on this channel. But, oh, wait, where is it going? Oh, so I'm so glad you're here. And if you're seeing this and you're just a thrifter and you're not a reseller, I want you to know you belong here too. And same for this podcast. I mean, I can't tell you how many people I've run into that are not resellers, but they still enjoy all of the finds and sales. They want to see what's going on. So having said all of that, if you guys are a part of my community on Facebook, maybe you follow me on YouTube, but on Facebook, I'm just overwhelmed and so extremely grateful for everyone that has somehow found me out there in my little corner of the internet, that being Facebook, and has just become a part of my life. When I created Mom Rebooted, I just thought it'd be a fun thing to do, creative outlet to talk with other people about side hustles or, financial freedom and thrifting and reseller, whatever. I called it Mom Rebooted because I was like, let's reboot. Let's see what we can do. And you guys have just blown me away with your support, your undying support. Those of you who just comment and you share my videos, which is like huge. Nobody has to do any of that. And the support that you give me when you drop me little comments and let me know what you're doing, when you drop me little comments and say hello and call me by name, you guys just make me feel so good. And I really, really think I have to say this, and I know our hosts of our show here will agree with this, that human connection is absolutely so needed in the world today. And if I can feel like I'm connecting human to human with any of you here, that's my goal right now, is to have a human connection, a fun connection. I like to keep things fun, keep them thrifty, talk about reselling, and you guys are the reason that I keep doing it. You make it so enjoyable. You make it so much fun. You help me find more people in our community and bring them in. And I keep saying, I wouldn't keep doing it if not for my community. Community is everything. Community is life, in fact. What is the saying? No man is an island. We're not meant to live this life alone. And the internet can feel cold. So I'm so thankful for my human community on Facebook and appreciate every single one of you and the members of my community here that are hosting this podcast. So appreciate them. So I just love it all. I'm so thankful. Without community, we aren't anything. So
I appreciate you taking the time to speak to your community. And to have that connection with them, I think is super important. There's a few people here from looks like Coastal Cleanouts and also Karen Moore follow you on Facebook. So they're really appreciative of you and your content.
That's great.
I want to talk about reselling just for a second, a little bit. The item that you bought for the least and sold for the most. Talk about it. Do you
Oh,
recall what that item
interesting.
was?
That's very tricky because um, I've cleaned out storage units in the past, a lot of them. And so I'll give you this. This is not a specific item, but your viewers are going to love this. You guys are going to love this. This is not one item, but this is one purchase that ended up making us the most money. We were going to buy a storage unit. And when you buy storage units at auction, you go online, you get to see a couple pictures if you're lucky, you put in your bids and you hope you win. Okay, so I'm bidding, and this unit is being shown as a 10 by 10 unit. I see some collectibles and really old junk, which I love old junk. So I'm like, you know, and somewhere in the description it said these people used to own an antique store. I'm like, bingo. So I wanted this unit. I wanted this unit bad. And I knew my limit, and I always know my limit when I'm bidding on a unit. And I said, okay, if it hits 1,000, I'm just going to be out. But I see some stuff. I know I can make my money back on this, and I know there's treasures in there. So I hit 1,000 and I want it. Okay, so we go to this unit. And this unit was not a 10 by 10 foot unit. This unit was a 10 foot by 30 foot unit.
Wow.
It went from one unit and there was an open space. There was another unit, open space, and another unit. And their entire life history of owning this antique store, these collectibles, was in that unit.
Cool.
Oh my God. We started going through it and I was like, I remember climbing, okay? I don't always look this put together. Usually I'm a hobo clown. So I'm looking like a hobo clown, climbing the junk. And I get up past this little buggy, this little toy car thing, and I said, honey, this thing goes all the way back. It was just floor to ceiling, 10 by 30 full. And we bought that whole thing. We had a garage sale to start with and just got rid of a whole bunch of stuff to collectors and things like that. And our garage sale, I think, was $15,000. And then the rest I just kept selling. There were all kinds of things. It was the most educational experience I've ever had as a reseller cleaning out storage units. But I learned so much in there. I sold so much in there. I don't even remember the final amount, but even when we just started out with our garage sale alone, we sold so many collectibles over a couple days. It was insane. It was like the stuff of your dreams, I'm telling you. But there are surprises out there. You'll find something at a thrift store, a yard sale, and nobody else thinks it's worth anything. And that's why we say always keep learning. If you're curious about it, pick it up. It could make you a ton of money.
That's
Not
amazing.
bad advice. Ellie, can you imagine having that much?
Oh my gosh. We started paying rent on it because it was I was just like, it's going to be worth it. Let's just start paying rent until we get it cleaned out. It was crazy.
I had a 10 by 30 in Chicago.
Did you?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. And it probably got auctioned off before I started reselling.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff, boy.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So I
cool.
mean,
Yeah, that's incredible.
It was.
If you think you had a guess, put a number on it.
Oh gosh. Well, it was probably like 20 grand because I had little stuff and the best thing about it, and this is why reselling is so great for people who already have kind of a funky mind, they're just always curious and like a good dig around and like to thrift because you already kind of have a different mind. And yeah, it's the thrill of going like, so it's so interesting doing things like that. Or, again, going to garage sales and just picking through stuff and going, I wonder. Or like I always said, like, I bet I could sell this. And looking things up and going like, I didn't even know what this was, but look what it's worth. And so many little things added up. We'd have some big things thrown in there. There was a drum set in there that went for like 800. That was almost 1,000 right there. And then they'd have old toys, old collectibles, old little pieces of things that you had no idea what they were. And then, of course, I always tell people all those little $10 and $15 sales, take them. They add up so fast, you wouldn't believe it. So, it just was a blast. I've never had an experience like that before. The storage unit owners were so nice to just honor the price, that even though they thought it was a 10 by 10, it was listed as a 10 by 10. But that was a great experience. That was a really great experience.
So do you
incredible.
only sell on eBay? I know I saw that. I think you saw on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace as well. I saw some like
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah. So for a long time, I only sold on eBay. I do cross list now I probably get the least sales on, well, Etsy, I really opened up for my digital items, but I have some inventory on there. I probably sell the least on Poshmark and Etsy. I don't know. But I do sell well on Mercari. I can offer great low shipping price on Mercari, and I'm a reseller who does a lot of deals. I don't mind taking offers and sending offers constantly. I make a lot of sales that way, and I think it keeps people coming back to me. But I sell on eBay. I'm on Mercari. I love Facebook Marketplace as long as I'm not getting booted off of there. That's great for local sales. Poshmark and Etsy are okay, but there are so many platforms out there, and I do suggest cross-listing if you can. I always tell people it's like, it'd be like if one person had one item and they showed it to only their neighborhood, like a garage sale, for example. Well, you would definitely have more interest in that one item if a lot more people could see it. And that's why I think cross-listing is so powerful if you can, or if that's something you're comfortable with. It's really powerful.
Yeah, I watched some of your short videos of
Mm.
Facebook Marketplace pickups. Have
Oh, yeah.
you tried the new app that they made for it?
I have not. I just was looking into that not too long ago. I'm curious about it, so I'm thinking about looking a little bit more into it. I'm very basic on Facebook Marketplace. It's just, is this still available? Where are you located? I will not drive to meet people. I just come
Right.
onto my house, and I do porch pickups only. I do no contact, and people either just leave cash under the doormat or they send Venmo. Venmo's very, very handy now, and I even tell people I won't hold unless I have Venmo, because I just don't have time for that stuff, you know. So I just tell people I'll hold with Venmo. Otherwise, just check in when you're ready and you can bring cash. I don't, but it's a great way to make local sales, and it's also a great way for people to get their feet wet if they're considering reselling. It's a real, very no pressure way to get your feet wet, no fees, you know. So yeah.
So you do something with your cash pickups. Can you talk about that?
Yes. And I'm so glad you asked about that. So anybody in the comments seeing this later or right now, you can let me know what you do with your cash. Let us know what you do with your cash. But again, I came from a place that we were very poor. We were living on, we were living on less than paycheck to paycheck. And we were bad with our money. I mean, we would go like buy a $900 dog and go, why they turn our water off? You know, I mean, very, very bad with our money. And it took my husband and I a very long time to be good with our money and to be smart with our money. And for a long time, even with my side hustles, we didn't have a lot of money. And that was okay, because we had each other and we had family, and you get creative, you know, all the gigs. But when it comes to cash, I started going, you know what? I'm going to start, and I started doing this years ago. When I have cash, unless it's a dollar bill, if it's a 5, 10, 20, 50, a $100 bill, I'm not going to spend it. If it's a one, okay, fine. I'll put those in my purse. But anything else, I'm going to set it aside. And I tell people to do this because it's that idea of out of sight, out of mind, you know. So anytime I get cash, a $5 bill, 10, 20, 50, whatever, I put it in my envelopes. I have lots of savings envelopes for different things, like paying off a car, which, you know, so we got my husband's car paid off with the cash method. I'm about, I don't know, a couple thousand away from paying mine off, getting our mortgage paid off early, saving up for future investments, extra savings in general, because life happens. So I do tell people, if you can, if you can't, that's okay. Everybody has different circumstances, but if you can just keep your ones, do what you want with your ones, and set all the rest of the cash aside. I do that with my porch pickups. I put it away because we all know rainy days happen. You know, crap's going to hit the fan and you're going to need cash. That's life. So I've set aside cash for so long. I mean, that's not the only thing, but I've always, even for many years, had a vacation envelope, over a decade, and I would just keep filling it up. And we have never, even when we were poor, and I've always had a side hustle, we've taken a trillion family vacations with my husband and my kids, and we've never paid for a family vacation out of my husband's paycheck. Family gifts, Christmas gifts, special outings, dinners out, coffee out, unexpected things. have all come from side gigs, including my reselling, mostly my reselling. And that cash, saving that cash has really saved our butts a lot, where we've just had cash set aside. And boy, doesn't it feel good to get into that envelope and go, oh my gosh, I thought I only had this, but I actually have this. It's really, really powerful, and actually I think is a good life habit. If anybody can have a side hustle, but if you have a side hustle and you just keep spending all your money instead of trying to build your wealth or make smart decisions with your money, you might be spinning your wheels a lot. So if anyone can do that, you can ask about it in the comments. I strongly recommend setting aside as much cash as you can. You'll be really glad you did later.
I love that. I'm glad you explained that so thoroughly, and it's just I saw that and I was like, that is such a great idea.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah. And it feels good to be like, even though you might think now, like it feels good to just take that and spend it. It really does. It's good for the soul, I think, to be disciplined and say, and later, like I said, say it took you a long time even to save $100 and to go, look what I did. I was disciplined. Let's take this $100 and do this with it. It feels really good to say, I did that. I worked hard and I put that money aside when I could have just blown it, and look what I did. And I really think there's something to be said for that. So
that's great.
Yeah. So
that's freaking incredible. My wife did something similar with that when we were living in apartment life. And it was super impactful. It made a really big difference when we went to down payment on our house. So I can't tell you how much that actually helped. We ended up paying off her loan early for her car, and then we were able to get our house before this one, and then that turned into this bigger house for our foster kids. But
I love that.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it was just a snowball effect. So I can't tell you how much something small like that might seem inconsequential, but in practice, like over the years, it compounds. So,
oh yeah, I put $5 bills in there at a time. I don't care, and it just adds up. I mean, you've experienced it personally. It really does add up over time, big time.
Yeah.
So I found a little savings binder where you can put like cash in the envelopes at the bins, and I brought that.
Oh yeah.
I found 2 of them. I gave one to my mom, and so I was doing that, and then of course some great garage sales came around, and I spent the cash.
I know. I've done that. I'll just take this out real quick for garage sales.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I got to start over, but it's just a great idea. It's really easy to do, to just kind of out of sight, out of mind. So
out of sight, out of mind. It feels good to see your envelope get kind of chunky, It's like, yes.
There's a question in chat. We're going to go ahead and bring Ellie, if you don't mind reading that.
Have you found a Roth with the income from reselling, like a Roth IRA? It gets taxed. I don't know. That's a CPA question, I think.
I know. I always tell people I don't like to provide too much financial, but I know my wheelhouse, and
I'm trying to think.
I never want to steer anybody in the wrong direction.
I feel like it's a savings account, right? I feel like it. But yeah, I would say probably CPA is their best bet, just to be sure. You want to make sure you protect your interests.
Yep.
We are not that flavor of.
Yes.
I know I have no CPA.
No.
And that brings up a good point. Get a CPA if you're going to get serious about this, right? Get yourself a CPA. It'll save you some. I think my CPA costs $200, and you can tax write off. So for the next year, and it saved us countless. Yep. I mean, we just still pay because with success comes, you got to pay your taxes.
That's right. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. And that's
the way it goes.
I say too, to anybody who's going like, well, they take this and they take this. That's life. That's the part of running business. So
but if you can plan for that, right? So you're selling stuff. I think we were putting 20% to the side just to be sure that that commitment's made, and then at the end of the year, whatever that looks like, and so it's different for each family. And definitely seek tax advice. Also, if you're getting serious into reselling, My Reseller Genie is an opportunity for you to use something like that to be able to kind of move the needle so you can track your income and your expenses. Ellie, what do we know about My Reseller Genie? You're the guru.
Right. I have really been enjoying My Reseller Genie, and I compare the stats, right, with Nifty and My Reseller Genie. But My Reseller Genie is really nice because you can integrate your bank accounts. So if you have like a separate account for your business, it'll pull all that in and expense it, as well as its Etsy is the newest one on there. It also Whatnot is the other like newer one on there, and then you get eBay, you get Poshmark, Mercari, all the good ones that integrate and bring your sales and shipping and all those things. It just does it for you. You can decide if you want to do accrual method, cast method, and it's super easy. I really love looking at the numbers.
Yeah. It does a profit and loss statement, and then at the end of the year you can do a Schedule C right from there.
Yes, it will. So I haven't
It's like, okay.
yet, but it will generate your Schedule C for you, and that's
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't wait to use that function.
So nice.
So Code Rocket City will get you 15% off a month or a year. So it's really good.
It's a great savings right there too. So I mean, I don't personally use my Reseller Genie right now, but I really am thinking about doing it personally because I do have a CPA. However, that 2 weeks I take to crunch everything together to provide to my CPA, because I'm terrible at that.
Mm-hmm.
I need to take my own advice, my Reseller Genie. So
Yeah.
I think it's super important for your business when you scale to the level that we're scaled to.
Yeah.
You really need to think about it. If you're just getting started though, don't let that scare you. I want you to feel free to dive in there, learn, ask questions. Remember that we are a community in practice and you can ask questions. So after this, if you're catching it in replay, make sure you're asking Angela all the questions about Mom Rebooted. Angela, this is the time of the podcast where we talk about who you would like to see on Launchpad Reseller Podcast. So Mom Rebooted, Angela, who would you like to see on Launchpad Reseller Podcast?
Oh my goodness. Well, I do have to say, of course, my sister. Now, this might not be up her alley. I love her so much, but we both know that I tend to be a little bit more chatty, and she's very bright. Like I said, like her, she could just get in there and do her work, where I tend to do less work because I'm so chatty. But I'd love to see my sister, the Canary Closet, on here. I think you already had Tall Girl Picker on here. She's just great, very sweet. There are so many resellers out there. I'm overwhelmed by how many people I keep seeing out there all the time. I'm like, what? It's actually crazy. Have you had Bevo on at all?
Yeah.
You have. I need to watch Bevo's episode. I have to be honest, I don't find a lot of time to watch episodes, but
Okay.
The reason I bring some of them up are because they were some of the tried and trues when I started creating content and I met them initially. And so I know they've been at it and have been hustling so hard. But I really think that anyone you choose, I love that you choose all kinds of different people to be on this podcast, because everyone's got a different story to share. So I really truly feel this, that no matter who you choose, they're going to have something valuable that's going to reach someone out there in a way that, maybe this person couldn't have provided or this person couldn't have provided. I'm just so impressed consistently with the resellers out there that all have a different story, a different way of doing things, something different to share. So, I mean, you could take your pick of the litter with, I think, just about anybody out there. There are some incredible creators and resellers out there that have something to share, and you'll get something different out of every single one of them that's going to impact someone's life for sure.
I agree. And there is a email that's scrolling across the screen. If you want to be on the Launchpad Reseller Podcast and you think you're too small, just know that that may not be the case.
Yeah.
So we are queued, and we do have a lot of episodes queued for future. But if you'd like to be on the podcast and want to tell your reselling story, if you think you have something for the community that would impact, or if you just want to come in and ask advice, we'd love to do an episode where you get to have us for an hour and a half and just ask us questions. We'd be happy to do that for you and even look into your business and talk about what's working, what's not. Like a little one-on-one chat session and get you spooled up as much as possible. Remember, I'm a software engineer and data engineer, and I do that for work, and I use that for reselling, and I give that information freely across all my platforms. So just know that that comes at subscribe. I appreciate y'all for doing that. Ellie, let's remind everybody where we can find you on social media as we wrap things up. Safe on you.
Tennessee Treasures. You guys can find me in Tennessee Treasures. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and all the things. So I appreciate y'all. And thank you, Angela. I appreciate you coming on. This was great.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. This is so much fun. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Angela, why don't you remind us one more time where folks can find you and all the places?
Sure. Well, all the places are right here on YouTube and additionally on Facebook. I know you guys probably won't mind. I'll probably be sharing this on Facebook and getting people over to your channel. I hope everyone will subscribe to this channel. This is an incredible channel. I just started piddling around on this channel and there are some incredible episodes out there. So these two deserve all the all the support in the world. But yeah, so on YouTube, I got a little something going on there. You can also find me on Facebook. I actually have a really incredible community on Facebook, and people that follow me there really don't just like buy into come and watching my craziness. They really buy into the community. We've got a great community of people out there that just love talking about thrifting and reselling. So those are basically the two places I am now. If I ever end up anywhere else out there, I'll let you guys know, but that's it for now.
Excellent. So make sure that you're subscribing to Angela, Mom Rebooted. We appreciate you so much for being part of the podcast. And one more question offline. So just hang tight. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up. Everybody, just remember one thing. If you cannot be good at it. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you.
All right.